All right, hello. Welcome everybody. Oh, that looks really loud. Please confirm that you can hear Fame Plane,
Hello.
because that would mean you could hear everybody else. So, yes, no. Squash
Squash
got
got
really
really
quiet.
quiet.
Oh, okay, I turned myself down. Okay, how about now? I can hear
Okay,
Fame.
they can hear us. We're good.
Perfect. All right.
Yay. All right, thank you, Squash, for helping us out. Welcome, everybody. This is the Season 8 recap and tournament preview. Rebel Pilot ran an extended 2-hour edition of that Wednesday. We are not doing that. We're going to do a streamlined version of that one. We'll be looking at the matchup and a couple of stats. We're going to start off with some of the stats that DeGreen and company were kind enough to compile for us. First slide we're looking at is the flip win rate, Hobbs and Leaf. Would you walk us through what you're seeing there, please?
Yeah, sure. So I guess what I'm interested in as well, I mean, I was curious, but I guess it's not here, it's just an overall status, right? We don't have like the NR side or the Empire side, it's just sort of team flip percentage, yeah?
No, correct.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, just trying to think with this win. So Niwi, I guess it's a bit weird to just go straight to the flip because I'd like to see this sort of data with who wins with these win rates because this is just who wins the actual flip, right? But can we? I might be modifying too much shit here, but can we? You'd have to pull up too much stuff, wouldn't you? Because I'd be really curious to see, even though 72% win rate for Siren on the actual flip, how that sort of how that sort of goes with their actual win of the entire game. I like seeing that sort of stuff. But anyway, I'm crazy. With Siren, I love that to see that 72% because I'm guessing most of that is an NR win, right? Because it's their A wing that's always the biggest difference. It seems to just be really upsetting bombers, like to the point that I've been a part of scrims where teams are like, we need someone in an A-wing now to like help us, please help us. We don't know what to do, sort of a thing. A lot of people struggling with it. Tempesta, 72% makes total sense because those guys are just rock solid at everything, and it's pretty hard to win a flip against them because you're gonna have a lot of trouble killing their bombers, and everyone is just like textbook. I don't know how they. I actually expected them to be higher than 72. Like, I'm surprised. I wonder if that's a faction issue or if it's a skill issue.
Definitely skill issue.
Oh my gosh, Squash.
What do you think about Randalorian's Leave?
Well, they've been traditionally a very strong team, haven't they? 6-7. Yeah, that makes sense. And the teams that they're flying against as well, they're going to be, they're going to be in contention a lot of the time with quite a strong opposition. Yeah, just like linking back to the Tempestra as well. Again, like I said, like textbook play, but also just incredibly efficient with everything they do. Especially, Lions is a really good tactician. Yeah, it's cool to see that LSS have got a pretty good flip win rate as well as a
Go Sommeliers!
Relatively new team, and also just like some of the coolest, like most chill guys in squadrons as well. I've got to say, just been pleasure kind of like arranging matches with them when TRA was down in Group D, and yeah, they seem to be up and coming really well. Yeah, thoughts on Thunder Squadron?
I think it's really cool that you got. So I'll go back to Baywatch a little bit as well because I was scrimming with Disco recently, not with the full Baywatch team, but just him himself. And he's basically I'd say he's the shot caller for that team. Am I wrong there? Anyone know?
No, you're good.
Nah,
That's fair. That's a fair call.
Yeah.
Something that he did. Hopefully, I'm not giving away some crazy. I don't think so because I was in a scrim. But we were on NR, and to win the flip, we were scrimming. I think it was cab or something. And to win the flip, he just full focused to put everything committing to saving the Y-wing. So he actually peeled off a flex player, took that flex player out, and we won the flip that way. I've never. It's always everyone's usually too scared to not to leave bombers uncontested. So there's new weird interesting things happening to win the flip, and I think Baywatch. I think they're probably the best at reading other teams and sort of adjusting on the fly at what to actually do. I don't think they have a consistent what they're going to do to win that flip, but I think they're sort of more flexible on looking at individual players in the team and thinking how they can take advantage of them and what to do to win that flip instead of just this is what we do every single time. I think that's why they're up there at 67.
I mean, something for me, but it's a bit of an aside, and I hope it's not too much of a tangent. But with obviously we have the kind of the general accepted meta, but it always surprised me this game with the slight, there's always seems to be an additional nuance which is discovered as these seasons progress. So I feel like there's something fresh every time. It's and yeah, I think Baywatch are a great team for that.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that actually, even going back, so I got to go to the rest of the teams, but I love that the most unorthodox team is at the very top. That's crazy. They've been busting out A-wings and I think B-wings and winning these flips. That's actually really interesting and could be worth going back to see what the hell's going on there because I'd be really curious. That's nuts. I did not expect that.
Yeah. Hobbs, I DM'd you the actual stats document, so while we're going through the other slides, you can go ahead and look at the numbers you're looking for. All right, next slide. Let's look at total deaths, and I don't think there's anybody more appropriate to talk about deaths than Dafka. Dafka, what are you looking at? What are you seeing on this one, sir?
Well, I'm seeing that, they seem to be pretty tight by group. Group A is pretty tight together with Group B and C also. I'm not sure quite which teams are in which group. It's been a hot minute since I've actually had to look at the board. But the one I do see stand out is Backstreet Boys with 49. That's 21 lower than the nearest one at Tempesta. I believe that is possibly due to their flex on flex violence, especially in the opening where you see a lot of flexes would go for the bombers. But with Backstreet Boys, they do put a lot of pressure on the flexes and do end up taking a lot of PK pressure off their bombers. So I believe that is one possibility for why their cold deaths are so much lower than the competition.
I also wonder if they
Sure.
win enough matches where they don't have to worry about oops, because I'm sure a good chunk of these deaths are coming from MC or ISD oops gone bad. But Backstreet Boys, they don't even looks like that's not even a concern for them.
Oh, that is actually a good point. Yeah, because you do see a lot of them when they do go to the out of phase and they know they can win it. They just sell out for that win, and it gets on the scoreboard, but they do get the win.
Yep.
So yeah, that's a good one. And then so it's pretty tight for the Group A, and then the Group B deaths are pretty close together. Yeah, I've not much else I can comment about total deaths.
Oh, I just realized both Navy teams have the exact same number of deaths. That's hilarious.
So it's Watchcraft, I think.
Okay. All right, moving on to the next one. Can we have Decoy Tango / Evil talk about the total kills here?
Yeah, well, we all know there is no PK in this game, right? Well, there is in the lower brackets, I can tell you. So, and coming out on top there, as you can see, Calvin Angel's Jade Squadron. Now, we've played them a couple of times, and those games have been. Dathka and I play for the Corellian Sommeliers, so in the top 2 slots there, those games have been bloodbaths. Plenty of PK, plenty of excitement, and Jade actually they're leading the way there. OJ Zeno, I think, is their lead PK there, but surprisingly, Wookie Cheeks picking up a lot of kills as well in that team. But honestly, a lot of team kills across the board there. For the Sommeliers, our PK is led very much by Dathka and by our very own murder bomber David PL. So they pick up a good number of kills for us. Third in the table there, Niwi Crone. They're pretty interesting. Headfencer and Trevor's Revenge there. shouldering most of the plow for their PK. But they come in, they weighed in with a lot of team kills actually, so a lot of PK in that outfit. Cavern Angels Red Venom, we play them tomorrow night, and they're just an incredible team. They're super fun, very off meta. They sometimes run 5 Y wings, and they PK hard as well, right across the whole team. So they're always good fun. Looking forward to that one tomorrow night, that's for sure. And then Laser Rangers, some great PK on that team as well. They've had a bit of a rough season, I think. They were kind of up and down, fell down into Division E and then bounced back up. So we actually missed them, which was a shame. I was looking forward to having the chance to play Laser Rangers. But a fantastic roster there. Patriot, Wasi Warrior, these guys, Soulhawk, all capable of wading in with some kills. And then Niwi Siren. This is, the team I really like, obviously Prof Altum there, murdering it with the A-wing whenever she gets the chance. But again, some good team kills, across the piece there. Scar and JC wading in, so interesting there. And then finally on the top 7 PK total kills here, the Rebel Alliance. We played them. Leaf knows all about that. They rolled us pretty easy, I think. But again, some excellent PK on that team. So yeah, plenty of deaths, plenty of kills, particularly down in those lower divisions.
All right, sweet. Thank you for looking at the data, gentlemen. Let's move on to the actual challenger bracket. If we look at the bracket itself, we have 4 matches. And what we're gonna, by the way, the following slides are all taken from Ska's PowerPoint that Rebel used on Wednesday night. So extra thanks to Ska and company for putting it together. Okay, so first matchup we have Orange Squadron versus Laser Rangers Fords. And Evoy, would you mind taking this one, please?
Yeah, so this will be an interesting matchup. As I say, Laser Rangers, I don't think they'll be happy with the season they've had, but they have kind of found their groove in recent games. Orange, of course, mostly based in Australia, so we can expect server lag perhaps to play a big role in this one. Maybe the games will go with Empire. I don't know. I can see this one going to Orange, though. I think, unfortunately, as I say, Laser Rangers haven't quite found the groove. They've got some great players in that team, and they could come good. But you look across at Orange's roster, with Hobbs, Fabian, Staffy Cat, there's a lot of quality in that team as well. So I'm going to say Orange take this one 3-1.
Thank you. And moving on to the next slide.
Oh yes, so we have Kinton Striders versus Cavern Angels Jade Squadron. Um,
Oh, 1 second. Looks like their stream is stuck on the bracket slide here. Just a moment.
all right. Probably help
Next
if I looked
one.
at
There we go. Okay, now we're caught up. Thank you.
Listen, I didn't realize I was supposed to hit the button after the bracket.
Yeah, I thought we were going
Come on,
to go.
Squash, get it together.
Yeah, I thought we were going through the bracket.
Hey,
Yeah,
so I
me
didn't get
too,
the
me
crib
too.
notes. So I want on record. I didn't get the crib notes for that.
I need better direction, Fame.
My fault, people. Sorry, Altador's mom, by the way. Just because she's so sweet and wholesome. Squash, forget you. Anyway, carry on.
All right, so we have Kinton Striders versus Cavern Angels Jade Squadron. I'm looking like this will go Kinton Striders' way. It might not be uh completely one-sided. I believe it'll be a 3-2 Kinton Striders. Kinton does have very strong support in the form of Medic. Medic is a great guy, great support. And I mean Rebel Pilot, he's okay. Hopefully he's watching.
Hopefully he's watching. Somebody clip Lauren. Clip
Good,
that.
Rebel,
Lauren,
get
clip
good.
that.
It is interesting to see that they do have the most draws in SCL this season. They have 5 draws. That is a lot. I think actually I drew against them, or we drew against them. LCS did, but Cavern Angels Jade, great. I mean, great team to fly against. I think we've met them in every round, possibly, and just good to fly against. Sam Wookie Cheeks definitely. I've known him for probably since I started playing Squadrons. Great guy, also really good support. Definitely underrated. Yeah, Jay definitely their top PK. I think with the ion lasers I've seen fly, very annoying to get shot by. Definitely catches you off guard. But I do see this going Kitten Strider's way, even if it's just barely.
Sweet. Awesome. Thank you so much. Next slide, please. We have
I'm ahead of you now. Thank you very
Niwi
much.
versus Rebel Yell. Leaf, what can we expect from this one?
Okay, well, you've got. I think this is going to be a really interesting match because you've got Night Witch's Crone, who are rather they're a veteran squadron. You've got players like I'm not sure it's back in the country yet, but the Green Thing, Marine Baller, Sandro, etc. Trevor's Revenge, who's excellent PK. You've got Head Fencer as well. Graf, who's also been in. They've all been in like a variety of teams aside from I think the Green has probably originally Crone. I think I might be corrected on that, but anyway, yeah, really strong team. I mean, that was the team that the other TRA team played last, and we found very challenging opposition. We split with them, but yeah, they're strong PK focused. They are. We always find that they're very kind of like there's a lot of pressure from them. And that's from that PK duo, Trevor and Head Fencer. Head Fencer, who I mean, I've known both Trevor and Head Fencer for quite a long time, and Head Fencer I seem to run into a lot more myself, like even in like casual dogfights, as he's also a Brit, so it's just the time zones, but he's massively improved. Rebel Yell, it'll be an interesting one, because I think you got Roxy, who is like this kind of like she's like some kind of curveball of a SCL player in the sense that she like takes this Y-wing with the ICT like regardless of the team they play against, which is actually really cool because she as her KD shows, she absolutely murders in the thing. So I do think Throne will probably take it. They're the far more experienced team, and we've got some good players on Rebel Yell, but they're kind of new to SCL. They were kind of making their way, but I think they could potentially maybe cause some upset. I don't know. I'd kind of like to see a win. Obviously, I'm biased being TRA myself, but Rebel Yell, I think they could perhaps take maybe a game with Roxy if she really kind of like pressures and perhaps throws Crone off guard. That's what I'd like to see. That's the more kind of like controversial opinion, I suppose. But I do think Crone will ultimately take it. It might be a clean sweep, but we can only see. I just want the drama.
We're here for the drama. That's what SCL is all about.
It also
Right,
depends on who Crone can field, right? I think Head
Yeah,
Fencer
true.
may not be available, and
Oh, really?
but also I'm not sure whether Roxy's around. She's been having some equipment issues, I understand. So yeah, this could be an interesting matchup. I agree.
Yeah.
That is the biggest issue right now. Just people with good members on their squad, but availability is dropping these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tough. All right, next slide. We have Red Venom versus LSS Hobbs. Take it away.
Yeah, Red Venom. I love that these guys have combined to make this super squad, and I'm a big fan of all of them. We got LSS. I have not had as much experience to sort of see how these guys are doing, but I'm sort of leaning towards. This is really tricky because whenever I do see these guys verse each other, it's so back and forth, and there's so many defenses, and then I think someone's going to win, and then the other person wins, and right now I have this great reputation of getting everything wrong whenever I call something. So if I'm about to sort of stick with who I think is going to win, it's probably going to be the other team. And I'm probably only slightly leaning towards Red Venom, but just like not by much. I think it's going to be really close. And I honestly, like, that's just me sort of feeling pressure to make a decision. I feel like it's just going to be, they're not even going to know who's going to win until like the exact last moment. Like anything can happen. I love when there's like someone's stuffed up an attack run, or someone's just got a really good like defense out of nowhere, and it's just like, what I love about these games is that you can't tell. I don't know if anyone else maybe has a different opinion here, might sort of have more knowledge on this group, but whenever I've seen these guys fly against each other, it's so just neck and neck, and I think that's why it's the most fun to watch, to be honest. But you can see the record though looks a bit more in Red Venom's favor, but yeah, whenever I watch it, it's just so close.
If I could chip it, I think this game could potentially be a PK bloodbath, which would be amazing to see.
That's what happens, and it goes on, and it's just back and forth, and it's so good. It's just action.
And
This
this game
probably-
Count the
is gonna be
bombers. Count the
casted?
bombers.
This game is going to be casted tomorrow, right? 3 p.m. EDT?
Yes?
Is
Question
that
mark?
correct?
Possibly.
It's. I
I
think
mean, there are two
it's-
people playing it, so I hope one of us knows.
Yeah.
And I'm
think it's
casting
7
it.
I think it's 7 p.m.
on the
UTC, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
So what's
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah,
3
3 o'clock.
3 p.m.
Saturday.
EDT. Yeah.
Okay, yep.
Yeah.
So this game will be casted if you guys are interested in seeing the bloodbath.
It's
I
going to
will
be super
say-
fun. It's going to be super fun, whichever way it goes.
I gotta say,
they're great guys. I'm really looking forward to it.
the Venom Empire game is so incredible because sometimes they'll come out with 3 bombers, 1 and 2 flex.
That's
And like if you like get on the wrong end of that snowball, that there's nothing you can do because 3 bombers and the 2 flex, like even without marks, that's just nuts. Slightly
wait a
under-
second.
Hmm?
Wait a second.
What?
I'm so out of touch. I didn't know that this is the team that Dathk is actually in. I might change my mind if there's like some crazy oop to finish it off. That's probably gonna happen.
Hobbs, the PowerPoint literally says Dathka influential flex role.
At the bottom. Why isn't that at the top?
But it's still there.
Good
Did you
question.
read it?
Oh, I
Well,
probably
it should be way up high there. It's a big.
I
That's a
forgot
big factor.
to say at the start of this cast, all the slides with the team on the top half are the
Yep.
higher seeds, so they get the first picks and all that on.
Uh-huh.
So that's my bad.
That's why they highlighted a bit there. I see.
Yeah.
LSS, it's Schneeflocken flying support, is it?
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's it.
Yeah, and I've got to say, yeah, they're I think I've seen Schneeflocken around for quite a since maybe the beginning, and even outside of competitive, and since they've joined competitive play, they're definitely quite like massively improved their evasion, and that they're quite tricky to kill. So yeah, I'd like to do a bit of a shout out as a
She has gotten
player.
so much better. She helps out with Pork's practice quite a bit, and
Oh, cool.
the improvements she's made, you love to see it. Okay, on the next slide is my bracket of how I think is gonna roll out. I think Orange is going to beat Niue 32 in the finals. Having said that, I say everybody wins if Orange and Niue are able to schedule. If there's a match schedule, everybody wins. Go home. We're all happy because that England to AU scheduling is a brutal thing. I do think the CAJ versus Kintan is going to be a sweaty one. And then the winner of that, Kintan and OSK, I think that will be a 5-game series as well. So I think that will be a lot of fun. Venom, it says I actually did what Hobbs did at the end. I thought about it hard, but I think some base race or OOP and LCS having Dathk, I think that gives them a slight edge on that one. Then Niue and OSK in the finals. Okay. Moving on to the next one. We got the elite bracket. We already had the first set of games last night. Hellporks versus Cat. Porks take the 3-0 series lead and 3-0 series win and get the joy of playing Baywatch. Fantastic. A quick recap on Cat. They a collection of former Cab and Nova players. They had a lot of I gotta say they had so much fun this season. They made the turret support a mainstay on their NR play with Biker Bugs running the Mean Beam on the Y. Usually they had Time Bomb running the full-time farm, and I gotta say they had a fantastic season. Got the 9 seed, which is no small feat, and yeah, congrats to them. Pops, I know you did the Ewing against us on Zagan. Go ahead. I don't want to talk about that.
I wanted to say exactly that they literally CA Thunder stole my thunder. I was the first to bring out these turrets, and now it's just like CA Thunder, greatest turrets ever. Look at them, whatever. But it's fine. I love these guys. Whatever, it's fine.
All right. Next slide. We have Baywatch, the 1 seed taking on the Porks, the 8 seed. I think the game's going to be right. It's not finalized yet, but this looks like a Sunday early afternoon game. Hobbs, go ahead and take away.
Yeah, cool. So what I am actually really hoping, and I hope both teams hear me right now when I say this, because I think this would be the best idea, is on the opening, I don't care which one, maybe every single opening of all the games, you set the whole team sits back. You get Brandon and you get Red, and you get those two in the middle to duke it out. No AI, they just got to kill each other. And then you just go,
Why is
because
it?
I really want to see these guys, because it's like a grudge
Why?
match happening and we need more of those.
Why is this a thing? Like this
Red called
this
him
is
out.
not
Red
a
called him
thing.
out. You didn't see the last match.
Yes.
Red, he did so well. They did so well against Thunder 3-0. Red's feeling it. He's calling out Brandon. Brandon's keen. I think. I hope that happens. That'd be the best moment in Squadrons in a while. But the actual game, I guess we'll talk about who's going to win, who's going to lose. But not as important. I just want to say, like at the start, like really impressed with Hellpogs, because this is one thing that Orange like doesn't pride themselves on, but we fall back on this as like, this is why we lose so much. We don't get enough practice. We're really casual, and we get in, and if we only had more time to do scrims, we'd do way better. But Porgs are like in the exact same boat, and they've just casual as hell, to the point that in 3PO they don't even know they have games, and they're just like getting through. And they're just like, they're doing so well. They got to the finals just cruising. Like it's I'm really impressed with what they've done. So I'll be interested to see this match. I think Baywatch though is going to absolutely kick their butts, but it's still going to be entertaining. And I hope that Hellpogs make it interesting, do something out of the box, because if you stick to meta, it's already over. But if there's some weird oop or some sort of weird crazy play that you're thinking of just to kind of mess with these guys, even just give them hell and just frustrate them. Yeah, I think that there is definitely a way to win, but I don't think it's going to be a standard meta play, because Baywatch have seen all of that before. Yeah.
That reminds me, Death Card, you want to sub for Porks real quick?
I mean, if you're looking, I'll never say no.
All right. Speaking of Death Card, next slide. We have the one that not Death Card. My bad. Next slide. We have Tempest versus the winner of High Guard and TRA. This is going to be, I think this is. Leave. When are you guys playing? Tomorrow or the day after?
We're playing on Sunday.
Sunday. So the TRA and High Guard play Sunday, and then basically right afterwards, I think the winner of that game gets to play Tempasa. That sounds like fun.
Yes.
So Eva, go ahead and take away, sir.
Yeah, I think the Rebel Alliance Hiveguard is going to be a really good matchup. Another great game. Two really good teams. Hiveguard, I know a lot of those guys. They're kind of, as many people will know, they're an evolution of Gray's Guac team. They're a really strong side. It says on here, is Dick Willie the most underrated support? He could well be, but they've got some great PK pressure in the team as well. They've got good OBJ, so Crazy D, Sundance, Fox, Turnip, Maze, Jackal. They're really good players. Rebel Alliance coming in as the lowest seed there, and it says here disappointing round one, but they really got their shtick going, and are on a really good roll. They're a very cohesive team. Some excellent PK on there. They know how to put the damage in. So I think this one's going to go the distance, but I'm going to give it to Hiveguard, I'm afraid. But I think it'll go. I think it'll go to the fifth game. So I'm going to give it to, as I say, to Hiveguard. And I think that the pick from being the highest seed there will be all important there, and just see them over the line. Through to the next round, I mean, it's hard to see past Tempesta, isn't it? These guys have been around for a long time. They know each other really well. We've mentioned earlier how good a tactician Lyons is. He plays just about every role really well, but a very strong roster with Scribbler, Isoda, Maticus. Who else is on there? Expired. So I see Hiveguard getting through, but that's where it ends for them. I see Tempesta taking it 3-zip, I'm afraid.
Yep. I appreciate that. All right, next slide. We have Dafka going to talk about probably, speaking of, we were talking about personnel issues. I think we got one team that's been struggling with a little bit of late. Beck, who recently picked up Knight, taking on Cab. I think this is, I gotta look at the schedule yet. But Dafka, go and take it away.
Yeah. I mean, it looks to be a good match. Beck, obviously, with their PK, it says it right on their logo. But I mean, Dalek Knight, very strong flex pair. You also have Arisi, and then I mean, Foka is a great support player. And then they do have two great OBJ players in Chile with his farm and MJ as well. I mean, I see this going Beck's way. Even barely. I think each game will be close, but I think it'll be going to Beck either 3-1 or 3-2. Cavern Angels, Blue Squadron. I don't know a whole lot about them. I do know they're a strong team. They're known for their teamwork together, and yeah, it's definitely looking to be a good match. I'm not sure when it's actually scheduled for.
Yeah,
I think Beck will take this one, and I mean Beck. When they're named Nord, they went to the finals last season. I think we'll see them in the finals again this season.
looks like it's going to. This match is played Sunday night, 5 o'clock Eastern.
Sunday night. All right. Well, Sunday night, 5 o'clock Eastern. And I also do have to say, Knight obviously is a big name. He's the widely regarded as the go to flexes. So, I mean, if that's not worth watching or just tuning in to watch on Sunday nights, I don't know what is.
Mm-hmm. That game might be overlapping with the winner of TRA High Guard versus Tempest. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
there's going to be a lot of good fun squadrons this weekend. All right, next and final slide here. We're doing really good on time, gents. Nice job. I will say, Lauren, I know you're looking on in chat. Look at the very bottom right here. Look at the bottom right. It's in stream. It's official. It's by the book. You cannot take it away. Boom. It's there, Lauren. It's official.
Oh.
Okay.
Wait, on top of
What?
that, it is super official. I saw Lauren streaming a game today, and there was someone punned in that game. So she secretly loves punts. It's just saying.
It's not a secret anymore. It's not a secret anymore. God, Montagues, let's go.
Thank you
Okay,
very much.
Leaf, go ahead. Leaf, go for it, buddy.
Okay, cool. Right, so Night Witch's Siren against Savrit Prime. Wow, I know a lot of these players from day one. Both got some fairly virtuoso players on both sides. Without really picking any individuals, but we've got Prof Autumn, who's exceptional with the old PK. A person after my own heart. Savrip, you've got again like a legacy team. Lohan, again, excellent player. Quintessence, etc. House Saigon. I am trying to. I've been debating for the last 10 minutes about which way I think this is going to go, and looking at the stats, it does seem to be. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm hoping these are up to date, but it seems that Siren seems to be stronger on the flips. I will go for maybe a 3-2 perhaps to Siren. But I'm sure it's going to be a really interesting game. I think it's going to be quite tight.
Nice.
Say something. Can I say something?
Yes, go for it, Hop.
Yeah, go for it.
The reason why you want to watch this game, I want to watch this game, is that there is so much potential for so much B-Wing on both sides.
Oh, Sagan! Oh, I
Yes.
forgot about that.
Yes.
Oh, I got so focused by Sky, I completely forgot about. Oh,
Yeah.
That's gonna be amazing. And there's two different types of beings too.
Yeah. It's like it's not just B-Wing versus B-Wing. It's B-Wing styles to see what's going on. Who's gonna show it off? Who's gonna make it work?
I can just hear. Lauren, I'm looking forward to your stream just so that I want Sarah to win an NR game with a B-Wing just so I can hear Sagan go, yup, no. That makes me so happy just thinking about it.
Maybe we should have a soundboard ready with that song. I don't know.
Yes. Okay. All right. When are they playing? I think they're playing. Do they have scheduled? Oh, I think they're playing tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow, 3:00. That's gonna be so exciting. Okay, sweet. So for final recap, what I would like from, first of all, thank you, gentlemen, and Squash for making this cast possible. RoboPilot, Scott, and company for basically making these slides so that it looks like we did all the work.
We did all the way.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, exactly. If I could ask you, gentlemen, I'm going to do a quick run through of what I think is going to happen. And if I can ask you, gentlemen, for one highlight from season 8, it could be from your own team or something you saw on another match or even in a scrim. That'll be fantastic. Okay, so looking, Squash, if we can go back to the actual bracket slide.
Dang it, I was gonna make a custom one.
I'm sorry.
Jesus. Oh, hold on.
Can I go first so that I can get the one that everyone's thinking of, and then they have to think of a new one?
Okay, Hops, you'll be the first one to go after everyone through this. So, I'm going to say between Niwi and Savrip, I'm going to give the edge to Niwi 3-2, a 5-game series. Cab and Beck, I'm going to say if Rain is playing for Cab will take it in 5. The other ones I'm going to say is a 3.
That's bold.
That's old?
That's a bold prediction, I think.
Bold, yeah.
For CA Blue to get past Beck.
Yeah, well, so the only reason why I'm saying that is because I think Beck may not have their best lineups available for this weekend. That's the only reason why.
Insider information right here.
Yeah.
Also, well, no, Focus has been pretty open about it. Also, I reserve the right to take that back if Big Brain doesn't show up on time again. Ready? And I will say the rest of it will go relatively chalk. I'll say I'm not gonna, because of my affiliation, I won't say which team's gonna come out from the top bracket, but I'm gonna say Tempest comes out from the bottom bracket, and I'll say who I think the winner will be. Whoever takes the opening flip on game 5. I think that.
Well, since you dodged it, Fame, I'm going to give the hot take. I'm backing Hellporgs to go past Baywatch, which I appreciate I appreciate is a big call.
Ren
But
and Fame are trash.
well, I think Porgs are on a roll. They really seem to have got it together. The game last night against CA Thunder, they're right close to each other in terms of the rankings, but Hellporgs blew away a really good Thunder team, and I think they're on a roll, and Baywatch are going to have to look out. I at least think it's going to be close.
I appreciate the compliment. Full stop from me.
Also, you're affiliated with both teams.
I know!
Like, you act like you're on both teams. You're not.
Oh, what team are you on?
Today's positivity brought to you by. You said you wanted to go first.
Oh yeah, about the highlights, about the the memorable moments or whatnot. It can be from any team, any situation, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna steal the Dathka moment because that's the most memorable one. Because
yeah, to freaking steal it. Thanks.
He's been training with JP on how to do this. I've been seeing he just came out and just busted it out like he was complete pro, which he is. But I saw all the struggle of him getting this and learning it, and then just getting more consistent at it. So it was pretty cool to actually see it just single-handedly just win that game out of nowhere. No one else is gonna oop in that division that well. So and just the excitement of everyone watching. That was a memorable moment. That was good work.
Yeah, I will say, Dathka, when I didn't really catch on when you were entering the scene. I think I saw you a little bit in 5-man, but when I saw you fly, I was like, oh, he must be one of the OG pilots from the opening when the game first released, and just took a step away and came back. But then later, no, he got the game 3 months ago. I'm like, the fuck, what?
Well, let's get the Dathka show out of the way, and I'll give you one that many people won't have seen. But Dathka went and destroyed both the shield gens on an ISD in a game that the Sommeliers had last weekend, which was pretty impressive by itself. But what people wouldn't have known unless they were watching his stream was that he had the kind of orange flame of death for the whole thing. Could barely see where he was going. And he got in, got both gens, got out, and took a pick before going down. So that's my Dathka moment of the season so far.
He pulled a Luke Skywalker from episode 4, huh? He just had took the targeting computer off. He's like, I got this.
I think it's probably still on your Twitch stream, right, Dathka? And he kind of says, "Oh, I can't see anything," and then he goes and takes out both gens and gets a pick. It's something to see, honestly.
Nice.
I want to know what
And
possessed you to buy the game in fucking August of 2022.
I got it for free.
But
So I started
why?
playing
Like,
it.
why even get it?
Epic
I
Games.
don't know. I
gives
got
you free
bored of Rainbow
Star Wars.
Six Siege.
And this was the game you chose?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's a big Star Trek fan, apparently.
Yeah. I hate Star Wars. I'm a big Star Trek fan with all the Klingons and
Oh,
Cylons and
hot
stuff like
take that maybe not everybody knows, and I'm about to just fucking lay it out for the entire community. Rediac prefers Star Trek over Star Wars.
that. I don't know.
Okay, thanks for joining us, everybody.
all right, wait, we were missing one. Leaf, I think you were.
I'm doing what? Sorry, a hot take.
No, not a hot. Well, it could be a hot take, but one memorable highlight.
Oh,
for you from this
memorable.
weekend.
Oh, crikey. I don't know to be like flying off on like a random tangent, but sort of not really, but sort of related. I just think like just every game, it just surprised me how every game there's something new and memorable to come back to, and we're still playing this amazingly neglected piece of software. That's my contribution, I'm afraid.
No, that's good. You Brits are really good at bragging. That's for damn sure. Squash, anything you want to add in terms of something that made you LOL regarding the game? It doesn't have to be gameplay, but just something you saw on the side as someone who just like despises.
I don't. So, I mean, like, I guess since I am helping you guys, like, I think everybody knows that, like, I give the community a lot of shit. But honestly, without this community, I wouldn't have some of my best friends. And while I think you guys are all quite insane to still be playing this broken game, I love most of you. Everybody knows who I don't like, let's be honest. But I love most of you, and it has been really fun to like do the casting recently, especially for the challenger teams, because like I've told this story a couple of times. But my favorite game that I've probably ever watched up until like this season was way back when I was still in IN. Please forgive me, I made mistakes. But it was IG versus Rancor, and it was back when you could still queue and get games, and they somehow both teams were queuing, even though they played each other. They were like waiting between a tournament, and they played each other the next game, and they ended up going against each other in queue, and just was the most like ridiculous game. There were B-wings, there were turrets, there was like it was so ridiculous, and it was so fun, to the fact that it made them both late for the game that they were supposed to play against each other. And I feel like, at least in Challenger, it seems fun again. I'm not a big fan of the sweat, and I know you guys are all comp players, so you love the sweat, but like I like to cast and I like to watch interesting games. It's actually not a bad game when you don't watch like level A, because it's just a base race and it's so boring, and I just never want to cast that stuff again. Except I will cast the Baywatch Helpworks game, because then I just get to shit on Red and Fame the whole time. That's a lot
But
of
Ali,
fun.
you cast the Red Venom Laser Rangers game on Xavier and Abyss with Rebel, didn't you? That was insane.
No.
Do you remember that one?
I've never casted with Rebel. I would rather jump off my balcony.
Okay.
That'd be nice.
Oh,
Why is she here?
I love Rebel so much.
Moving on.
And Rebel knows, but Rebel is like the epitome of sweat as well. I cast with Spoon. I've casted with Autumn. She's a lot of fun. Spoon primarily. Alex, Chewy. Yeah, no, I never casted with Rebel, but I've seen a lot of games. I think it was a Red Venom game versus, I don't know, somebody, because I remember doing interviews with Trame, and that game was just like so fun to watch. Um, yeah, no, I do love this community, and I think it is fun. You guys are, most of you are a good group of people. And then we do have 2 casts coming up tonight, now that I'm off of my tangent, that I do actually love you guys and have a soft spot for this community. Please don't invite me to your Discord servers, though. I don't want to be there.
Before I forget, so everybody, it's Friday night flight, so go ahead and queue ladder right now. Not that I queued while you were talking about that stuff and not listening to you, Squash.
Do I get?
Yeah, sorry, Daphne, go ahead.
Do I get to choose my favorite Squadrons moment of the season?
No.
Yes.
No.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
All right. Because my favorite, and I've been waiting to say this, Squadrons moment of the season was when Roxy did 21 kills in a single match. That was my all-time favorite. Just the absolute terror in the ICT back Y-wing. I stayed and watched that.
Can I just jump on that one? Yeah, I remember that because we were watching it at the other TRA team, you know, those losers I fly with. We were sort of watching it. We're like, they really should do some OBJ at some point. But then we were kind of like just morbidly fascinated at just the absolute bloodbath that was going. I was like, yeah, just carry on with this stuff. It's awesome.
Was that on Foster?
I believe it was on.
I can't remember, but I just remember the spectacle of it was just fascinating.
Because there was one match that involved Venom, but I forget what the opponent team was. But there were so many deaths, and Spoon was casting, and the poor guy, he had gotten 3 casts, and this is probably my favorite moment. Is he had gotten like 3 games in a row that something crazy and insane and anxiety-inducing was happening. It was like the exact opposite of a base race. So a couple of times he just like, wait, what? Wait, what's going on? Wait, I don't even know.
Yes, it was that one. Yeah, it was oddly reminiscent of. It was very different, but at the same time, sort of reminiscent of when I think this like last year. This was like Turret Syndrome faced who was it? CTX Venom, and they just went full PK.
It was. Oh.
Yeah, but yeah, it was. That was good to see.
I liked the drama that caused that beforehand. That was more entertaining than the actual match. But anyway.
All right, so Friday Night Flights. No, stop talking. I have to feed my dog. Friday Night Flights tonight. 9:30 EDT is OSQ versus somebody. And then 11 p.m. is Kinton versus Cash, CA Jade.
Yep.
Lauren, I have to walk Asuka.
Somebody.
Like, I literally need Laser Rangers. Okay, 9:30 is OSQ versus Laser Rangers, and 11 p.m. is Kinton versus Cash. Both will be on the SEF channel. I do need to go walk Asuka. She's been waiting this entire hour to go out. So Fame,
you're a bad parent.
Wrap it up.
Okay. All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Squash, for this cast. Really appreciate it.
Cheers. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. This was fun. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thank you.
Have a good night.
Rebel, this is how you not do it in 2 hours. Goddamn.
Yeah, dude, we did it in
Rebel.
53 minutes, and that's with
Walk your dog.